Oh, hooray!
And we're live. Good. All right. Right account. Yay.
Hmm.
We we need one of those really cool like graphic things whenever we go into the album war section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who came up with the one that Scott uses for their little section where they do the
George is
uh,
pretty handy at
rock
making
rock
little
album.
videos, so I mean maybe he can whip something up.
Who had the two boxing gloves that would go together like that and sort of explode when they went together? It was like a versus kind of thing. Was it
Yeah.
that
That was
metal show?
that was that metal show when they had the throwdown. We went over this last time.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
The only thing is I don't know how to add those things in. I'd have to pick
You just
Scott.
ask. I'm sure he'd be able to tell you.
Yeah, and you might have to have a paid account to
Yeah.
add.
You have to have a
Yeah.
paid account for those.
Well, never mind. We can do our own boxing gloves. Get the whole hands whole smash.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, I don't feel like I have to introduce us. I mean, anybody watching is going to know who we are, and our names are right below us anyway. So,
Right on the bottom.
I think we're good on that. But so anybody that didn't look at the title, we're going to be covering band logos, top 10. Each one of us will pick 10 logos that we just like, and
I
probably
luck it a lot.
minimal discussion unless somebody really there's something that's weighing on you that you want to share about the band logo. And then we'll start off. I believe was it going to be George that was
Yep.
presenting. We're gonna present two albums and just go around and see which one each one of us prefers.
Okay. Well, I was going to pick any obscure. Maybe you guys should know. How about we got two metal albums: Cathedral, the Three Mirror,
Mhm.
Mm.
and Saint Vitus, Die Healing.
Ooh,
Mm.
My
No, you
vote's for
guys
the
tell me. I'll tell
Ethereal
you last.
Mirror.
You guys. Okay.
yeah,
That's one for
wow.
Ethereal.
All right. One for Ethereal.
Tim, you want me to go next?
Yeah.
Uh,
Go next. I'll go
yeah.
last.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna lean towards Die Healing. Scott Rieger. I love Wino, but I really like him in Saint Vitus. Scott, the other Scott, and so I'm gonna go with that one. But that's probably my favorite Cathedral album too. So that was a really tough decision.
I'm definitely going with Saint Vitus on this one. I think that's a very overlooked Saint Vitus album. I agree. I think Scott is right after Wino, in my opinion, as far as Saint Vitus vocalists, because they're very similar to their voice sound. I'll go with Dialing as well.
Well, they're both good. I have to go with this one is still my favorite from them, Cathedral. So we got a tie.
We got a tie.
Two and
Still a
two.
good album. I agree. It is an underappreciated album, though, Tim. But
It is underrated.
for me,
Yeah.
for me, this one just a little bit edges out just a little bit.
Even the
There you go. That's
self-titled
cool.
one, Die Healing and the self-title, I think they're both just phenomenal.
And that
Too.
Saint
So
Vitus actually was the first one I picked up on vinyl when I started collecting.
Hmm.
the
Well, that's cool.
self-titled, the first one, or the one that George just showed.
The Dia Healing was the first one I purchased from them.
That one was hard to come by up until I don't know a number of years ago. It went probably a good 10, 15 years where you go unless you found a used copy, you weren't getting it.
I
And then
Yeah.
think I got mine. I think I got all three of my Saint Vitus records on Amazon.
I think you got some from me.
No, I didn't.
No.
Trust me, I would have loved to have relieved you of your Saint Vitus collection, but I think all that stuff was gone before I could get a chance.
Oh yeah.
I've only got three. I've got Dia Healing, Lilith, which is okay, and my favorite, Born Too Late.
I think Tim's helping Ron pay his mortgage.
I'm helping. I help a lot of people with a lot of things.
He actually helping to fill these 2 CD racks back here.
That's fun. You must have a
Whenever,
great store. You go up with these stacks of stuff. You must have a great store near you to buy all that stuff. Must be pretty cheap too.
Oh yeah.
whenever
Oh,
we're
yeah.
done, Ron, I'll show you what I have how I have my CDs stored. It works for me. It's a little easier. I like the flip through method more than the going side to side type thing for records and for vinyl. So I have mine a little bit different, and it's a more secure like thing. Like if they happen to get knocked down, like if there was an earthquake, then they're just going to fall straight. I have closed shelves, so you just pick it right back up, and everything stays where it was. So not
That's
that we
cool.
have earthquakes.
Maybe your cat will knock them over, or your dog will chew it because they'll think it's a chew toy.
Yeah, they can't because the shelves are closed.
I'm like kidding.
Like,
So yeah, every time I watch a video, you always taking something away from your dog.
yeah. Well, last video she actually had something she was supposed to have, so I didn't take it. She looked at me like, "I got what I'm supposed to have. What do you want?"
Dogs are dogs. They don't know. I can't tell you how many Star Wars figures I lost and the dogs chewed them when I was a kid.
Worst thing we had to deal with when I was growing up, two cockatiels. And the few times they'd let them out and not watch them, lo and behold, they'd land on the records and start chewing at the top of the
Oh,
And my father didn't have plastic sleeves, so
of course.
they didn't ruin too many, but there were a few. It wasn't my records.
Mine would be Earthquake Joseph, my grandson. So he likes to because he's starting to stand, so he likes to hold on to the cubes down there and stand up.
King Kong is way up there.
You better
And
watch
then
watch those.
He likes the feeling of the spine on his fingers, so he'll rub the spines of the records.
You better watch those. 'Cause I used to come home when I was little to a stack of CDs on the ground that he's ripped off the shelf. My mother-in-law think it was funny. I said, "It's not funny. That thing cost me a lot of money. It's not funny throwing them down. That wasn't $1. Those were like 15, 16 bucks. Stack of them at a time." He thought it was funny. I didn't think it was funny. Anyway, he stopped doing that.
All right, if I remember correctly, I think last time we did one of these, Tim, you were last. So we're gonna start with you, and then at least according to my screen, then it looks like George, and then Ron, and then me. That way you're getting to go first this time.
Good old him.
I have a feeling we're going to have a lot in common, but I didn't decide not to pick any extras just to keep things going smoothly. I'm going to show my favorite to start off, the Mighty Motorhead logo. I don't know if there's any more metal logo than that.
Yeah, and you could. I mean, the logo could be. I don't know what the name is of the
It's the
board.
War Pig.
The War Pig.
Pig.
So I mean, that's
Yeah.
a logo in itself. I Motorhead was one of my extras, and so yeah, just the band name is iconic, but so is the War Pig. So
I also really like the fact that this may not necessarily mean anything, but to me, I like the fact that the letters are all lowercase, and I kind of feel like maybe it was designed that way where they didn't take themselves too seriously. You know, you have a lot of bands, you know, they want their name big and bold and, you know, capital letters on, and they're just like, we're Motorhead.
Very true.
All
right, we can just end it right now because that's the ultimate logo right there.
I knew that was coming.
Raise your hand.
I had to do it first to get out of the way.
No,
That's why I did it first. Get it out of the way first.
I'm
Yeah.
insulted by those S's. I think you should have pulled up the one with the,
Pull out the German pressing.
the German copy.
Hey man, that was considering one of the guys who designed it were Jewish. I don't think they had a problem with it.
You know, the one with the metal S's from Revenge. I always really like that styling of the logo.
That's true.
All right, so I'm just gonna go in alphabetical order. No particular reason. So my first one is That drew me too. This is actually the first thing I ever heard by them when I saw the cassette and I saw that logo. I mean, you take away the logo and they kind of look like a new wave band, but then you put that in and it's like totally metal.
Yeah.
But I used to draw that on my notebook. Yeah. So
that's cool.
So one of my favorite logos. Well,
Very good. Very good.
yeah.
Yeah, all three great. All right, my first one. I had to put this one first because I figured somebody was gonna have it in their list. But and I love this. I love the variant because this one's got it's got that shine factor to it. I don't know what you call that, but I always love this. It's got the scythe, and you got the little flames there, and you got the Reaper dude, and I really like band logos that have a little something kind of thrown in there, and so I know that this, as the years went through, they got rid of. I think it used to have cobwebs in it. So the earlier albums have a little bit more than what you see there, but
didn't they get rid of the Reaper dude in later albums too?
Maybe.
Yeah, symbolic.
Well, they might have gotten rid of most of everything. Even the T originally it looked a little bit more inverted, and here it looks a little less. So they were trying to draw away from that.
Makes sense. And we lost him.
I'm trying to figure something out.
I think.
I stole one of his.
Come on, Tim, it's your turn.
That's why I bought extra ones. I think we picked some of the same ones anyway.
Well, I didn't really pay attention grabbing this, and it doesn't have the version that I really want to show. But the Wasp logo, where it's got the razor blade, I can't find it on my album cover. I don't think they put it on any of the album covers, to be honest. Maybe it's on here somewhere. I don't know.
Some of the later ones had the buzz saw.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Like, as I remember, I think it was the Double Live Assassins on CD. It had that logo on there. And I thought this one did too, but I'm keeping it out because I plan on probably playing it this week. But the Mighty Wasp.
That's a great one.
Yeah, they're all going to be great. None of them are going to suck, these logos.
We'll see.
Pick this one. I'm wearing the shirt, so I had to put it. Dio.
Yeah.
So, classic.
I figured somebody would have it, but I had to. So, yeah. But, George, I got a different band. I've got this one.
Boyd?
if you get the, what do you call it? Goddamn, I can't think of the name. The fourth album, Dream Evil. That the logo's different. And if you turn that over, it looks like it says Devil.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they changed the logo on that album for whatever reason. Very weird.
I think even the second album has a little bit of a different variation to the D. It's kind of got like a little curl to it, and so like a lot of bands, they would keep the basic idea of the logo, but just kind of tweak it a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of logos that we all drew on our notebooks when we were in high school, you got the class Anthrax logo.
Yes.
And then, of course, one of the bands that they had the classic logo, and then when they changed their sound, they changed the logo a little bit. So it was one of those bands where like you could tell that
those classic logos early on were like the easiest ones to draw because they were straight lines and angles, and people like me who had no drawing skills whatsoever could draw on a notebook.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you didn't even need a ruler.
I remember doing early on.
Don't need a ruler, no.
Yeah.
It was back in your notebook, and nobody else was gonna see it. But
yeah,
I may still have one of those notebooks. I might have it stashed in my closet in the bedroom, but I remember holding on where I had one page and I just wrote every metal band I could think of, any fringe alternative bands that were maybe slightly metallic, and if they
I would try to like make my own logo that was decent enough. Like if I didn't even know if a band had one, but I'd be like, I can just write this in a way that kind of looks cool. It's not going to be overcomplicated because I have no skills whatsoever, but I want to put all my favorite bands on this one notebook.
No, we used to, because I'm older than you, we used to cover our school books with like the paper bag and we'd write the logo on that.
Yep. Yep.
So I don't know if you
Yep.
guys did that, if
My
they still
mom,
had that or not, because they had
Uh-huh.
this thing they made book covers. I had the plastic, the garbage, the
my mom refused
ShopRite
to
bag or
take
whatever the fuck it was.
the school offered book covers. They're like, no, we got paper bags over here.
Then you can
Great.
self-decorate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's customized.
All right, my number 2, going with my theme with the little added things in there.
Nice.
Diamond,
Awesome.
the bat. But even without it, even without the little, I don't even know what that symbol is. But the bat. Even if you took that away, I love the K. I love how
Yeah.
the G goes down like that. There's a lot of bands that I'm like, yeah, their logos are kind of just generic. They're fine. The
Yeah.
arts are nice, but
Yeah.
Scott,
I almost
even
went
if
with
you took
Merciful
out,
Fate.
what were you saying?
I thought I almost went with Merciful Fate.
Yeah, I didn't even look at that one. I knew Diamond had the bat and the stylized.
Yeah. That was the one that I couldn't find. I know I'd seen it. I think maybe it was on a CD. It was one of the Black Sabbath logos. I like the one. Let me see if I can show it to you real quick. It's on my table. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this or not. That Black Sabbath logo,
Yeah,
but the little things. That's what I wanted. I swear I thought I saw a bigger version of it on one of my records. Apparently I was wrong. My next one.
That's the master of this. That's the master of the master of disguise.
That's a reality.
Master of reality logo.
But they didn't have the two guys on the side of it though. Two
Right.
back,
Yeah.
whatever. Devil things.
Yeah. All right. So my next one is definitely one of the most iconic. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to be showing Van Halen.
I thought about it.
I left it out. I knew somebody would cover that one, and that's the one. That and Anthrax. When I first started writing out logos, those were the two.
Yeah.
You go with the easy ones, and
I figured somebody would go with Death too, so that's why I left them off my list.
Yeah.
yeah, Van Halen is iconic.
I like this one,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Angel,
Good one.
because you can turn it upside down. It still says Angel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's
Very
great.
unique, very cool.
I forgot about that.
On that's pretty happening too. That's good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how they did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great,
Uh,
great 70s band.
All right, so this one is quick because it's going to be the first repeat, and that is because I picked individual thought patterns as well. That death. If I had symbolic, I would have gone with the clean. I would have gone if I had symbolic, I would have gone with the clean logo, because I like how it cleaned up and everything. But even this, I like that one too. I liked when they took the spider webs and all that stuff out of there, but they kind of had the
That's my favorite. The very first Death logo is my favorite. I thought that they kind of. I don't want to say went out changing the logo over time. I just thought it was more metal the first time around.
It probably, I think. Also, it went to their, like Anthrax, it went to their style change as well, because the first two albums were more gore oriented, and then he moved into a more, sort of reality based
more political type thing, where basically every topic under the sun was done on those remaining albums.
Yeah.
All right, I promise this is the only logo I'm going to show that you won't be able to read. So I don't have tons of those, black metal and I'm trying to think some of the other the black metal typically have
there's some definitely logos that are real hard to read too.
Yeah. So this is if any of you know this, I'll be impressed.
No. No idea.
It's a cassette copy, but there's actually a patch on the inside, so it might be a little easier to see. But so that is Vials of Wrath,
That's
They are
it. I was trying to think.
Oh yeah, the Christian
are-
black band.
They are Christian black
Yep.
metal, more of
Yeah,
that
Lions of
atmospheric.
Wrath.
They're
So
very
that-
ambient.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
ambient.
definitely atmospheric as well. Yeah,
But that logo, that's just one of the ones that you would never. I mean, you can't. I can sometimes kind of make out the vials part, but the rest of it. But I just love that design. It just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
there became a part in the 90s and early 2000s where it was like, our band name is this, but you can't tell by looking.
Yeah. There's a lot of them out there that it's. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe if you pulled away all the extra stuff they had in there, you might be able to make out the
Mhm.
letters. But
Well, my next one is definitely legible and probably simplistic in form, but I've always loved the Raven cover.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Raven logo.
I was this one. Always liked Celtic Frost.
yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
nearly went with them too.
That's a
I
really
like
good
how
one.
it's filled. They got the part of the logo filled in and the other part not.
Yeah, very unique.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very unique.
Contrast.
Yeah.
All right. So, man, I got another one that's kind of they changed their logo when they changed their style, but I like the original Fates Warning logo.
From
The
Oh
most,
yeah.
uh,
Yeah,
Of course,
me
you know,
too.
Ray
I
Alder
agree.
started on
I
this
agree.
one. It's a little bit heavier, but then when they went more progressive, they kind of changed it to more of just regular lettering. But I love that. I
Yeah.
love the old Fates Warning logo. Come to think of it, I just filled out my 80s Fates Warning. The last couple came in in the last couple days. So I got the last of the Fates Warnings that I needed. There you go. Oh yeah, they changed it for those.
That's
Yeah.
the one I have on
alternate.
vinyl Spectres, or the Spectre. That's the one I have on vinyl.
Hmm.
I would say blue vinyl, maybe.
It's amazing how many bands change almost
Yeah.
album to album.
Album by album. Yeah.
And
And
then
then
you
you got
probably
others
have like 3 bands all time that never changed it.
that could be a topic unto itself.
Right,
I can think of one right off the bat.
Logo.
right. I was wondering if that was ever going to get brought up. All right. Is it your go? Yeah, did you just Face Warning? Yep, my bad. It's
Tim.
him.
I hope I'm not stealing from anybody on this one. Mortification. It's not ultra complicated, but again, it's got the little skull guys, and there's a little dagger through that. And
Yeah.
It's something that anybody could sit there and with a pencil and you could sketch out and do the outline. But the coloring, that kind of the blue glow in the background. That's another band that they changed their logo so many times. But I love the original from I believe the first 3 had that.
To me, if you're going to be a death metal band, your logo has to look death metal. Like just one, for example, this one Dying Fetus record that I have, and it's just like block style lettering. It's like the older style looks better because it looks like a death metal logo. You just
Yeah.
Sometimes you would know. You could see a band would change a logo and it would become super generic, and then all of a sudden the music
would be the same.
Like they purposely did it because their sound had changed.
Yeah. Like I'm not big on Lamb of God's new logo like at all. But their new album's great. I think it's the best they've done at least probably since Sacrament, but that's my opinion. Speaking of ones we all drew on our notebooks,
Yeah,
Oh yeah, of course.
definitely.
like I said, one of the easiest ones, straight lines, angles,
Yeah.
Metallica.
Yeah.
And I used to try to write my own name in the Metallica lettering. So
But yeah.
I think everybody tried that. There's actually a trailer company that does like hitch trailers like you can hitch to your car. I can't remember the name of the company, but it starts with an H, and the H is done like the stylized M is. And I'm like, wonder who you're a fan of.
I've seen that on food trucks and all that kind of stuff. Like what was that? I think it was actually I don't know what it was called. I saw it on somewhere or something. I forgot. It was called Master Grilling or something like that. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, my next one is obituary.
Oh, yeah.
Ron,
Did I take yours, Ron?
That's my
You took-
favorite.
You took mine.
Sorry, I knew it was gonna happen. You know.
And George, I almost
Yeah.
grabbed that. I almost grabbed that one, and then I was like, "Oh, but I love this."
Oh yeah,
album. And
That's
I
true.
love that
I
Green
think, yeah.
Chance.
Yeah.
So
that is
they-
an underrated album. That's really like just like straightforward, just
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Bam Records freaking awesome album.
They pretty much went right back to their, I would say, like their second and third album on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if I had any obituary in my collection left, I would have definitely shown because that's my favorite logo of all time.
Yeah.
So-
One of my friends from elementary, middle school, and high school up in New York, I think that was the first tattoo he got was obituary with the dragon right on the back of his shoulder, and that was a good one.
Nice. All right. This one was kind of a compromise, but I still like it anyway. It's the Kingdom Come logo.
That's cool.
That's a band that never actually changed their logo. They used it the same right up until the end. But yeah, I've always liked their logo there.
Yeah.
So
That's a good logo.
Kingdom Come. Yeah. And even like their later stuff is unknown, but it's super underrated. Like nobody knows about anything after their second album, In Your Face. But
Got their
I guess
first
you have to be
three.
kind of a diehard fan. But they never really changed their sound, even though band members went in and out and in and out. So yeah.
True.
Yeah, good band. All right, next one is a huge favorite of mine, and their logo has changed so much through the years, album to album. But I like it for the fact that it's the drummer who does the artwork, and I love his artwork so much that I do have a book of theirs sitting over on the other side of the room. So I had a hard time. I was like, well, out of all the different logos, these are probably my two favorite.
Oh boy,
Oh,
bye.
yeah.
So you got this is not the original. So the first album actually was a little bit more simplistic. So that's Killing Technology.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I think they had gone a couple of years without an album and then put out The Wake. And that one, it's simpler, but it's Away has that way of doing things that are just, pure sci-fi. And so
Yeah.
I love the Voivod logos, even the simpler ones.
my next one, I don't think is going to be any kind of surprise. But this band, they've changed theirs a lot too. But their current logo is the one I love the most. And that's from Judas Priest.
Mm,
Love the triple kind of cross thing at the very end with the T.
Mhm.
Like I said, they've had plenty of different logos. Their earlier '70s ones were okay. The '80s into the '90s, stylized basically the same as this one, but then you had the crosses, the T's. But that's my favorite logo from my second favorite band.
that's a great one.
That's a good one.
And if I remember correctly, I think maybe not their original one, maybe it was the original one, had I think like a little like bull's tail at the end of it.
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
off.
it did.
Yeah, that was their first 3 albums. Had that.
Yeah.
Rock Roller had the slick looking thing and with the Coca-Cola color, totally different logo. Then I guess the
Yeah.
second 2 had the one with the tail.
Okay.
I like that one. I thought that was cool. The second one was cool. With the first 2 second albums. And where'd Tim go? Oh, here it is. All right, this one is the second logo from this band. I like the second one better. Immortal.
Ah, yeah.
Oh
Just a
yeah.
little more cleaner. Because this one's a little like more not legible.
Yeah.
Their original.
But this was much, I think, more classy, I guess. I love the album cover too. Because they're not on it.
Yeah, I like that band. I mean, if you're gonna go black metal, they don't have all the demonic.
No, Abad is like a goofball.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So if you gotta get into black metal, the first just a band to get into first because they really aren't.
Oh yeah,
They don't take
yeah,
themselves seriously at all.
yeah. Everything is like it's all fantasy lyrics with them, which is really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So,
That's
If I would have gone with a
and
black metal, I probably would have went with Emperor, but I don't have any.
yeah. All right. And another one. I'm sure a lot of us used to draw on our notebooks. LA Guns.
Yeah.
And they've changed
they
their
love
logo a lot. What's that?
they love that logo. They love those two guns. They put that every single album has that
Yeah. Well,
giant.
they went away
Because
from
I
it for a
look,
while, and then they came back on more recent albums. But yeah.
yeah, I pulled out this one because
There you
it's
go.
just
Yeah.
made it slightly different, but every album has some kind of variation. They love this logo. But I
Yeah.
had to pick up. I can take this one out now. So, but that's cool though. It's a great logo. I got the album cover over here hanging on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pull up one of my extras. So, yeah, going off of the last one George showed. This as I was scrambling to try and come up with some extras, I was like, oh wow, yeah, this good Borknagor.
Borknagar. Yeah.
So it's kind of
Wow.
like Enslaved. Um, more, as they started off black metal and then kind of started getting more into progressive stuff. Nothing, super crazy, but definitely a lot more keyboards and clean singing. And but yeah, it's a pretty wild logo there. And of course, they got like the hammers Thor there. The hammers. What is it? The Thor's hammer. The
Mhm.
Asgardian thing. So, and I think that's a lot of their song lyrics are kind of dealing with Asgardian mythology and weird stuff like that. But good band, really cool
Yeah.
logo.
Yeah. That reminds me of the Unleashed logo as well. Unleashed had that, the
Yeah,
Hammer of Thor.
yeah.
My next one, um, the band itself confused me because of their album covers. I thought they were a power metal band, and then I was really surprised
Mm-hmm.
with both
Yeah,
covers.
that's not a very death metal looking logo at all.
And,
No.
not a death metal, and then unless you look at their first one, their first logo did look that way.
Yeah,
They were their first like kind of Death Grind album that they had to start off with. That was not what I first saw. So when I first saw this, I thought it similar to like Man of War, and then I put it on, and there was no Man of War, just war.
Yeah, looks like power metal. Power it has quite a punch.
it's funny you mentioned that. It's funny you mentioned that, Tim. That's my next one. Man of War. How'd you know I could pick that one next?
I broke that one out last week.
That's a great one. Very just copying the whole Destroyer cover. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Same artist, same idea.
Ken Kelly.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
Jesus can try to sue him.
Yeah, really, right? He let it slide. They're off from New York, so I guess that was okay.
Oh, yeah. Mine's another classic that we all drew on our notebooks. Of course, I know I started drawing it on my notebook. Metal Church's logo. This was the first one I picked out when you came up with this idea. Metal Church was the first band that came to mind.
Yeah,
I've
you were
always
going to
loved
pick
that.
metal.
What's
If
that?
you just went with that whole bench of Metal Church listening.
Yeah. So I've been listening to them a lot lately, but yeah.
That's the live one.
Yeah, the Final Sermon, Japan.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's a good
I don't have that. I don't have that one.
Before, yeah, it's a good. I think was the last one with.
The
Did
last,
you record this
yeah,
with Mike Howe?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's why they put it out. They call it the final server for that
that's
reason.
what the band can do for.
Great, and they close it out with Anthem to the Estranged, which is great. So,
Nice.
All right, a that you all know, and again, they've changed through the years, but this is one that's shown up a few times, a few different albums. And
Oh,
this
yeah.
is, Aerosmith Gems, but just the fact that that you've got all that red there, and it's, I don't know if they they had the logo and then they kind of filled in around that, but just the arrow here, it's stylish. That's another logo you could see coming from a mile away. You see the wings,
Yeah.
you see the circle with the
Yeah.
A, you know what you're getting.
I almost
Yeah.
picked that one too.
I came close to an Aerosmith logo too. I was gonna go with the one from Get Your Wings.
Yep, different but equally cool.
Yep.
I know. I'm very surprised this has not shown up yet.
Yeah.
Halloween.
I
thought
did
about
think
that
about
too.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
About the little pumpkin, of course, that's changed through the years too.
Oh yeah. Now
Pumpkin
the pumpkin
like
smiles and all that kind of happy stuff.
Not sinister anymore.
Halloween.
Well, we got the pig bubbles go ape. It's the bubble.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. How about this one?
Album. That album got trashed when it came out, but I
Yeah.
enjoyed most of the songs.
Well,
Yeah.
the cover didn't help any for that one.
No.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, that
It's a
Death Angel
classic.
was awesome.
Oh yeah, Death Angel for sure.
Yeah,
Great
classic.
band,
Just
live.
slick looking, and they haven't changed their logo either.
Mhm.
Same logo they've been using forever.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have the second repeat here. I'm stealing from Timothy again. The Mortification logo. And it's like just like Tim said, all the death metal bands have like the coolest logos. You have to make it look death metal. And Mortification is one of the few extreme metal bands I still listen to, but I love that logo.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So cool. All right. Get into another extreme metal, but this is another extreme metal band that the lead singer and the band can tone it down, and they've gotten very proggy through the years, and then they start ramping it up and getting extreme again. And that's Opeth. And I love that O. It's so, I mean, that's even from the from the get-go with this band. They were heavy, extreme. You had the death metal vocals, but it's still kind of mellow out in parts. And I think that logo just kind of it helps kind of show what the band's like. They can be extreme, but they can be artful too, and melodic. And some of their slower material is some of my favorite. So I guess, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think there's actually like some kind of like butterflies or something actually in those parts there. So it is actually kind of intricate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat when they hide stuff inside the logo.
Opeth is one of those bands where I don't try to have any expectations going into what the new album's going to sound like, because you just know they're capable of doing whatever.
Yeah.
And so, if you're thinking, man, I hope it's like the last one, it's probably not going to be like the last one. It'll be like 5 albums ago.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
never
sure there's
is.
a lot of fans that probably wait to start hearing snippets of the songs online before they
Right.
on a new album.
Another Notebook level logo that I'm surprised no one else has tried yet.
I almost picked that too.
DC.
Figure someone else is gonna pick that. Why not?
Yeah. It's as iconic as the Kiss logo, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys know this band, but I love the logo. Wolf.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
excellent thing.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't have any of theirs, but I've seen their
Really
stuff
good.
online.
Band's really good. They got a new album coming out too. I saw a snippet of the song. So
Are they German?
That's the Swedish Wolf, right?
yes,
Swedish.
Yeah.
Swedish one.
Ah.
There's a bunch of bands called Wolf, but yeah, this is a Swedish one. Yeah,
Yeah, because there's like 2 or 3.
yeah, a lot.
I think Wolf Hoffman from Accept, he has his own solo called Wolf, doesn't he?
I'm sure he does.
That's what I was thinking that was at first.
No, it's a different band.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna show my obvious one, the one that's on my shirt, the Saxon logo,
Of course, of course.
and it's
I
mainly
thought that
because
was
of
the
the
first
S.
thing you said.
Because I love how the S kind of looks like a battle axe.
Yeah.
And it's got like the stem
And
going through it, kind
Got
of.
that, I think,
So
on both the top and the bottom.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
so,
What
yeah.
album is that?
This
Is that
is
alive?
St. George's Day Sacrifice live in Manchester.
Okay.
That's from 2014. I have the DVD of this as well. No
Very
surprise.
cool.
no surprise.
Surprised you don't have somebody ticket stub.
All right, mine doesn't have an axe in it. My next one has a sword. And there's a lot of bands that use swords. I actually came through a few of them as I was looking through my collection, but it's kind of a simplistic design, but I love the sword. And that's Saint.
Oh yeah,
That's
And
cool.
I
Yeah,
have
that
that's
them
cool.
too.
hasn't changed drastically. I mean, there's a little bit of variation, color obviously, but um, this one I liked. It was the clearest one to see with it being yellow.
Mhm.
But yeah, just kind of make it out. Kind of it's a T, it's a cross, it's a sword. Great band. Anybody watching that is not familiar, if you like Judas Priest, you got to check out
Oh
early
yeah,
Saint.
yeah. I almost
Especially
went
the
with that. We
earlier
almost
stuff.
had 3 overlaps, so I'm glad I changed my mind.
I thought that was one of my extras, and I thought that's why I kind of put it towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to use my one repeat here at the end that George showed earlier. And that's Dio.
Yeah, classic.
And I prefer that version of the logo. I know that the changes are just so slight on all of them, but I really prefer that one.
Hmm. Yeah, the original.
Yeah. All right, my last one, which I'm surprised no one's even showing another one, but I'm gonna show this one. Quiet Rise wrote
Yep.
classic. Good album too if you know Terrified. This is the underrated album.
I wish they would start repressing their stuff. I've got the earlier, I think like the first three, but some of those other ones in the later part of the band before the original lead singer passed away, I'd love for to get those on vinyl.
Yeah.
Must be
Yeah.
a copyright issue.
No
I almost
Kevin, no right, in my opinion.
when I
Yeah.
pulled out all of my picks this morning, I had QR3 in my hand, and I put it away and went with something else. But yeah, I almost went with that too. But I thought this one was cool because like death metal, a lot of the power metal bands have super cool logos, and I went with this Sonata Arctica. And what's
Yeah.
cool
That's
about the
cool.
two
It's different.
A's is it kind of looks like a gate there. So
Yeah.
if you look at that, the two A's
Yeah, that's
together.
eye-catching. I've never bought
So
any of
Yeah,
their
that's
stuff,
cool.
but their logo is definitely, yeah,
oh yeah,
it's unique.
they're fantastic. I have 2 of their albums. They're really good.
All right, I might win the prize for the most out there album now. So I've saved this one, but this is another one of the ones, Tim, like you started with Motorhead, so this would be a good way to end, because here's another band where yes, their logo, the band name is fine. It's recognizable, iconic, but the actual logo, kind of like Motorhead, you don't have to see the band's name. I mean, even people that don't listen to this band are gonna see. They're gonna see the logo here, and they're gonna know
You
who it
know,
is.
yeah.
Right.
Good point.
So, Grateful
Good
Dead
point.
is.
Good point.
And you either like them or you don't. There is like literally no overlap for
There's
that
no in
band.
between.
And I gave them a shot, and it just didn't work out.
It took time.
Mm,
They had to grow on me because you have expectations, and then when their
It's
video came out in the late '80s, it's a bunch of old guys singing. But as I started getting into more '70s stuff, and I was reaching, going back and listening to older stuff that preceded me, especially Dylan and things like that. the more I listen to them, especially the live stuff, I got it. I wouldn't call myself a deadhead, but I've got a lot. I've got a lot of stuff from them, and it's mood music. I have to be in the right head place.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
I love Bob Weir. I think Jerry Garcia was a fantastic guitar player. He had his own thing. It's you're not gonna have like guitar wizardry going on, but the guy was phenomenal. Um, and then even his bluegrass stuff. Since moving to Tennessee, we're surrounded by bluegrass, and I know people who play. And Jerry Garcia he surrounded himself with brilliant musicians. So
Yeah,
You know,
the
it's,
only
fu-
reason.
it's
Go
funny how
ahead.
you mentioned you watch those videos and you're like those old guys playing. We are those old guys now.
yeah.
Yeah, we are those
We're
guys.
probably their age when he made that video. Like, oh, those guys are ancient. No,
I look more Grateful Deadish right now than those guys did.
but I have
Yeah,
that in the dark album, which the only one I have. That one of the best sub by them. But the End of the Dark album's a really good album.
I give him a shot based on um, the song "Truckin'." Um,
Chuck is
the,
good.
That's a
the
great album.
reason
That one.
I even knew about that song was actually um, Tesla's cover on it on the 5 Man Acoustical Jam album. And I was like, oh, so the Dead play stuff like this. Oh, okay. And then was like maybe it was my mistake looking for that sound. I guess hearing Tesla's version, I guess maybe had me looking for something that maybe wasn't going to be there to begin with. But all in all, it still didn't. It just didn't catch on for me.
I totally understand. I mean, I'd never wag fingers at anybody. It's the same thing with Bob Dylan. Like, if you don't like his singing voice, if you can't handle
It's nothing is going to change your mind.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing there.
Yeah.
If your
And
dad
I
was
don't like
fanatical and he
Dylan
got
singing voice.
brainwashed, then it was the same thing with like Merle Haggard. As a kid, I didn't really care too much for Merle Haggard. The songs were, to me, they were boring, but I love his music now. Johnny Cash, and it's just that's the thing. Like things can be imprinted in your brain. So when you're a kid and you're hearing things, you may not get it or you may not like it, and then you get to a certain age, and all of a sudden you're your father.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
my father doesn't listen to this, so you just
Right.
add on to what's been put into you musically.
Yeah, and a lot of it's just going back and listening to the bands that influence the bands that you like, because you're like, what part of Judas Priest is or Iron Maiden? What
No one showed that logo.
what part of them?
I saw one guy's at least show the Iron Maiden logo or Twisted Sister
Yeah.
logo, and no one showed either
Wait.
one.
When he was talking about the Grateful Dead logo before he showed it, my head went to Iron Maiden because I'm like, you got to show the mascot with the way the lettering's done. And I kept Iron Maiden off my list because I figured somebody was going to show it, and then I thought he was going to show it, and then he went complete opposite way I thought he was going.
I tried to stay away from the big bands.
I think it's always going to pull that one. I have one thing. I know we're done with this, but I wish this band would have kept this logo for the entire career.
Yeah.
That was their best logo,
For sure.
but they never did.
No.
They would have kept it for the entire. That would have been cool to me.
You mentioned Twisted Sister, and that was the other one. So Van Halen.
That was one I thought Ron was going to show because I know Twisted was where he basically got his start in anything heavy. So I really thought Ron was going to go with a Twisted Sister logo.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones now. No one did Sabotage, which is another good logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot I passed over. I mean, there's bands that have good
another good one.
decent fonts. Yeah.
Right.
Warrior, especially that W. I love the W.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
but
That was one of my
I think
extras. That was my
I think there's also just the fact that there were certain bands we couldn't ignore, like the Van Halens and the AC/DCs and stuff like that. And Kiss. I
think
mean,
a lot of
they were the obvious ones to pick, but I don't think any of us felt like leaving it out.
Yeah.
And of course, we were also picking ones that had some kind of connection to us. Even though I did, not to say every band that I shared was, a top 20 for me, but there, yeah. For instance, here's one. I'm just grabbing what's sitting here in front of me. That's not a terrible logo, but it's not a band most folks are going to know, and it's not anything super, super boom, boom, boom.
Right.
And then, New Cypress Hill, that's kind of cool, but
Yeah.
again, it's not. We're trying to go with bands that we think the others that are, folks that are watching will be able to
I
connect.
I almost
Yeah,
iced Earth. I was
yeah, I
gonna.
thought that too. I
Yeah.
thought that too.
Yeah.
I pulled out. I looked at Hammerfall, Iced Earth. I also thought about Brittany Fox and Cinderella and kind of pairing them because they're kind of similar in lettering and they have all their connections,
The
band member
Cinderella
wise.
one that changed too because they changed after the first two records have basically the identical. Then after that, there's variations in it.
Could have went with the Thin Lizzy one too, and that's right in front of me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thin
yeah.
Lizzy.
Yeah,
That's,
Lizzie. Yeah,
that's a good one. Here's the Brittany Fox, and
Yep.
that's a great logo.
That is a good logo. You want forever.
And they kept it too, so which is kind of neat.
they could, but we shouldn't.
Pink Floyd, their logo for the wall. They're another one they kind of changed, but that was simple. But it's like a lot of them become iconic. You just
Right.
see them over and over and over again.
The Misfits.
This
Yeah. Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Sanctuary, that's great.
I'm surprised nobody shows ZZ Top,
Thought about that one.
Thought about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially with Frank Beard passing a couple days ago.
Mm,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had to fill out the rest of my ZZ Top now.
And
I think I need the last 5. That's all I need. So
now it's just Billy Gibbons, and I don't really know how I feel about them touring with only one original member. I mean, that's a
he can
band.
just go out as Billy Gibbons and still do the ZZ Top stuff and say the Billy Gibbons band. I think that'd be fine with that. But
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just-
ZZ Top sells no matter what. People don't care.
I wasn't.
There's no one in Foreigner anymore. It's original band. People can still go see them.
Yeah.
I wasn't really cool with the replacement for Dusty. Like, I really wasn't. I thought the guy looked out of place. I didn't think he really fit the ZZ Top look. And that 97 string bass or whatever it is he has on stage with him looks ridiculous. I'm sorry. And that, other than as far as recording lineup, they've never had a change in recording lineup. Like they had the same, from album 1 all the way through. And for a band that's been around for like 50 years, that just doesn't happen. You're going to end up losing at least 1 or 2 members. You got some bands out there, Quiet Riot, they have no original members whatsoever.
Either the Skinner.
And the fact that ZZ made it that far along with those 3 guys, and that's even harder to do because a lot of bands, one of them 3 is leaving. I mean, Motorhead was a 3-piece for a good bit of their career, and lineup changed. And I don't think Mickey D's like the only surviving ex-Motorhead player, I think, at this point. I think everybody else in Motorhead's already, passed.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of band member changes, you've got Napalm Death. Their original logo is one of the best I've ever seen, and their lineup has changed 2 times over. They've changed like even from before Scum, before the first album, there were no original members left. So they've changed 2 times over.
That's true.
So Ron,
Didn't they have like one lineup for side 1 and one lineup for side 2 of that album? Yeah, that's
exceptional
crazy.
one person. Yeah.
And Barney wasn't even the original singer.
no.
Dorian.
Lee Dorian is
You talk about
the original.
change in style. You go from being in Napalm Death, the singer of Napalm Death, not just like the drummer. You're the singer of Napalm Death to the singer of Cathedral. And I have a compilation. It's 2 CDs. It's called Serpents and Gold, I think. A Cathedral top. And there's like a long interview in there in the booklet where he talks about, they're like, didn't you ever think about maybe doing a death doom? He's like, all that is slower death metal. He's like, I just really want to do a complete doom project.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just like, that's like having, Sebastian Bach being in a death metal band. You're like, that makes no sense. You've heard him all those years,
Yeah.
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 there
it is.
When you were
It could
talking
also be. It could also be Lee just was kind of looking at how his voice and throat were feeling after doing that. Like, I can't do this forever.
He only did an album and a half with Napalm Death, and yeah, by the end of it, his voice was shot. So yeah, he was ready.
Yeah, you really have a great technique doing death metal. It's not for everyone. Like, death metal vocals are just as hard, maybe harder than high pitched vocals, because I was watching this video, and I don't know how true it really is, but there was this guy. It was a YouTube video where he had, basically the instructing technique of how to do death metal vocals that won't hurt your throat. And he basically said, you've got two sets of vocal cords. You got the cords that you use for speaking, and that's what most singers use. He's like, then you've got that vocal cord that does your burp and your vomit type sounds. Basically instructing you to use those vocal cords instead. It doesn't strain your actual throat and your voice. How you're supposed to do that, I don't know. But that's basically the way he explained it.
The best.
That's kind of funny because a lot of that brutal, really brutal death metal sounds like they're throwing up in a bucket.
Well, a lot of very modern death metal bands, to me, I'll say it like David Vincent from Morbid Angel said, you got to make your stuff intelligible, because basically your lyrics are your poetry, and if they can't understand your poetry, what's the point?
The best example I could think of is Frank Mullen from Suffocation.
Exactly. And one of the things they said about him is he keeps his mouth more open when he does his, and it allows him to actually enunciate a little bit more properly.
Yeah.
Like, I really like Chris Barnes in Cannibal and in 6 Feet Under, but I love his vocal approach more in 6 Feet Under because it's more intelligible. And I think he even reached that point in Cannibal because they were like, they still wanted him to go like super fast with his delivery. And he's like, I'm not doing that anymore. He's like, then do it the way he's done at 6 Feet Under, bar like a couple of albums where it really felt like he really was training to do it. I like that because I could actually understand what he's saying. There's some bands I don't mind it being where I can't understand because I don't want to, because I know who the band is. Like, I know what you're probably saying, and then what you're saying I'm not really going to agree with. So if you can do it and me not understand it, that's great. Like, I like Deicide. I think they're just a fantastic, brutal band. I love Glenn's voice style, not his lyrics. I think he is one of the top 5 death metal vocalists out there. And whenever he's singing, I replace a lot of the words with actual like Christian words, for like reversing some of the stuff that he says. Because I get it, and I think Ron had brought up a topic like a day or two ago, about doing like 5 bands that Christians shouldn't listen to, and I was like, I know Deicide would be like Deicide, Morbid Angel, almost any black metal band would be on there, and I just treat it like it's art. And also, when you have lyrics that are contradictory to mine, and that the fact that that has been your entire lyric base for 30 plus years. At some point, the kill Jesus and stuff like that just sounds stupid. Like like, how are you going to kill what can't be killed? First of all, how are you going to kill what you don't believe in? Second of all, how are you going to blame things on a God you don't believe in? That kind of stuff. So it's like, I find humor in what they say, because it's like, it's ridiculous. There's certain songs certain bands have where they're like, I'd rather burn in hell. I'm like, why? Like, dude, have you not seen this summer? Just this summer alone, I could not be in hell. I couldn't. It's the ridiculousness of it. And also, it reminds me I really feel sorry for these people. And the majority of the reason why I feel sorry for them And you can say, well, they make their own bed, they can lie in it type thing. I don't really look at it that way because we're not supposed to want anybody to go to hell, first of all. But second of all, 9 times out of 10, when somebody is so anti-Christian, not just anti-religion, but anti-Christian, something has happened in their life. Be it something that happened in church, something that happened at like a Christian school, Christian parents, something that happened that should not have happened. And then they take that, and that's their entire view of a religion. And they don't actually understand that the ones that hurt you weren't actual Christians. And the things that happened should not have happened. And a lot of times, like there's this term out there called church hurt, and it does exist. You've got some congregations that are like, they're out there judging everybody as if they're God themselves. And I've heard the statement, you go to church for God, not for the people. That's great and all, but guess what? Their people are there. And if they're not making you feel comfortable, if they're not acting like they actually should be acting, then that's not the place for you. It's not. You've got to have discernment, and you've got to have the Holy Spirit leading you to the body of Christ that you need to belong to. It's not about, trying to stay popular with certain people or this, that, and the other. I can care if anybody likes me, to be honest. But what you're not going to do is because I look different than you and I talk different than you, cast me aside out of the body of Christ when maybe I'm more into my walk than you have ever been in your entire life. And I'm not trying to make one person better than the other, but that's a lot of what they do, what certain people do. Fortunately, my wife and I have been able to find a church that, dressing the way I dress, and I dress that way for church. I'll leave certain band shirts behind. I don't wear Slayer to church or stuff like that. But I've worn Motorhead shirts to church before, and not a single time have I gotten anybody that's tried to disrespect me, discredit me, my beliefs, any of that kind of stuff. So, and I do that on purpose, and it's not to try to shock anybody or anything like that. But to me, the very first thing most people see is your outward appearance, and that's the first thing they're going to judge on you. And if you walk into a population of people that looks at you and does not treat you any different based on what you look, that's a very healthy first start for me.
What was the subject again?
We're on pat.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
So we can go anywhere. The paths that. So just something totally back to the original topic. I was just wondering if this was the logo that Ron was talking about.
Yeah, the original.
Because I think that's what they used on Scum. And then as far as members, I think Shane Embry is the only guy, and he wasn't even in the band originally. I think he came on board after Scum. And then as far as everybody else in the band, now, like, I don't know, maybe one of the Harrises, Mitch Harris, or whoever the other guy was, they might have been in the band.
Okay,
Scum,
so
maybe not the original. The band was around for years, even before Scum was released.
Right.
A bunch of demos.
Before you had on the first half of Scum, you had Nick Bullen and the other guy, the two guys that went on to form
one of the guys from
Godflesh, right? And Mick Harris. Mick Harris is the only guy on both sides of Scum. You had Lee Dorian, Bill Steer, Shane Embry, and Mick Harris on the other half of Scum.
Right. So Bill Spear
and
from
wait, no, it wasn't Shane. Shane didn't join till From Enslavement to Obliteration.
Yeah.
So Shane is actually the longest running member at this point, but he joined on the second album.
Yep.
Mitch Harris came in. Mitch Harris came in on Harmony Corruption when they took more of a death metal turn. And that's why Mick Harris left before Utopia Banished. That's when Danny Herrera came in. And it's been pretty stable since then. But yeah. So,
And Mitch, it's either Mitch or Shane. I want to say it's Mitch has a had a side project
Scorn.
with somebody else, and I can't remember his name. It's called Menace, and it's kind of like an industrial metal kind of sound, not like Fear Factory or like Ministry.
There was a spin-off band, Scorn, that one of the guys did. That was
that's Mick Harris, yeah.
yeah.
Mick Harris is still doing Scorn too to this day. He was doing like dubstep for a while with Scorn, but they started off originally as industrial.
Yeah.
Well, you had
A lot of history in that band.
oh yeah. You had speaking of side projects, you had both Harris boys in the band Defecation, who did one album in the early '90s, and then you had Righteous Pigs, which is where Mitch Harris came from. He was a guitarist in Righteous Pigs. They did 2 albums before he joined Napalm Death.
And then Meat Hook Seed, was that somebody from Napalm? I thought there was at least
So
one.
was Righteous Pigs a crust band?
No, they were kind of
Grindcore.
they were grindy. Yeah, they had some hardcore elements, but they were more death grind.
There's a lot of the UK bands that I've never, like Lawnmower Death. There's a
Oh,
bunch
Walmart,
I've
excellent.
never listened to.
Me neither.
They're just not.
Do yourself
They're
a
not
favor.
available here.
I guarantee you'll like Lawnmower Death.
Yes,
I mean, I know they're
yeah,
all
for sure.
earache records, but
Very, very
not easy to
grindy,
come by
but
here.
I would kind of say more like Carcass grind than Napalm grind.
Crossover. They were kind of Lawnmower Death was more comedic crossover.
Mm.
So and then later on they added more punk elements, but they were pretty much like comedic crossover on the first couple albums.
Ron's favorite made up genre of comedy metal. I'm like, where do you put Guar? He's like, comedy metal. Like, it's not a genre, dude. You can't. I'm like, Green Joe,
Well,
that's comedy metal too. I'm like, no.
it's still comedic,
I would literally have had a 2-band section for that.
No, there's quite a few bands that would fall under that.
Infectious Grooves. They kind of, I mean, different genre, but I mean, as music wise, but I used to bust out laughing listening to Infectious Grooves, the lyrics.
Oh yeah.
Funny.
Oh yeah, especially that first album. I mean, you're like, what?
I think that the Ozzy song was the most serious one on the album, Therapy.
And you can even imagine how much of a like how much chaos it was even record that song with Ozzy.
Yeah, that'd be.
I guarantee you, recording one song with Ozzy is about like recording a regular album by yourselves. Like it's going to take forever because he's not going to be serious. There's going to be a lot of drugs taken. You know, you're going to have to go find him. He's hiding in a broom closet. Dude, we need your part.
Honestly, I don't think Mike Muir and the Suicidal Guys ever really got too hardcore into the drug use. I know they
I was
did.
talking about. I wasn't talking about.
Oh, Ozzy
them.
for sure. All just Ozzy pretty much. But
Yeah, Ozzy probably stored more coke than the entire city of Los Angeles
combined.
and that's including the '80s band era from Sunset Strip.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to end our stream here on that note for those that are watching at a minute and 9 minutes. Peace out, those that are watching.